One afternoon, my friend Ornab and I were sitting in a park. A gentle breeze was blowing. The sun was shining golden in the sky. Rahul was deeply focused, reading a book. I asked him, "What book are you reading?" He looked up, smiled, and said, "If you read this book, you'll learn to think differently, far beyond how most people think." I said, all right. So, what's the name of the book?" He replied, "It's called Mental Models. It's about some thinking techniques that are the key to the success of extraordinary people." Rahul added, "There are 30 models in it that can help you with your studies, career, and even relationships. It's coming. Whether you're a student or a professional, this video is made just for you." Today, I'll explain 30 mental models on my Next Page Insights channel, all in simple stories and easy language. So, let's get started. Chapter 1. Decision Making. Strategies. Models 1 to 6. Model 1. First Principles Thinking. This model says to break everything down and start thinking from the very basics. For example, if you want to solve a problem, instead of following others or old methods, ask yourself, what's the core of this? If I think from the ground up, what could the solution be? When you think this way, you get to the very root and ... you'll find a new solution. Elon Musk used the same approach to build rockets. He started by tackling the root of the problem. This is called second-order thinking. Most of us only see the immediate result of an action, but we don't think about the long-term effects. This model teaches you to consider the second and third steps of every decision. For example, if you don't study the night before an exam and just sleep, you'll get instant rest. But the outcome might be bad, like failing the test, so think about the future consequences. Before assuming anything, think about the impact first. Model 3 is Occam's razor. When there are multiple explanations for a problem, the simplest and most straightforward one is usually the most believable. It basically means make as few assumptions as possible and think with more info. For example, if you hear someone didn't come to class, it could be because they're sick or missed the bus. Even though that's a simple explanation, it could also be that they just overslept. There's no need to overcomplicate things. Thinking simply is always best. Model 4 is inverse thinking. We often wonder, what can I do to succeed? This model suggests thinking the other way around. What could cause me to fail? Think about those mistakes. If you avoid certain things, you'll get closer to success. Like, if you don't want to fail in your studies, then avoid not studying and cut down on wasting time on your phone. The Model 5 thought experiment is about imagining and thinking things through in your mind before actually doing them. Scientists use this method to make big decisions. For example, say you're deciding whether to take a job or do freelancing. If you mentally picture both options realistically, you can get a clear idea without real-life experience. Model 6 is the framing effect when the same information is presented differently. It can change the decisions we make. Sure, for example, if one food label says 90% fat-free and another says contains 10% fat, most people prefer the first one, even though both are basically the same. This model shows how presenting information matters a lot. Chapter 2 is about thinking and perception. Models 7 to 12. Model 7 is the fast principle thinking. Using this model, we analyze everything from its core. Say you want to start a new business. Instead of just following what everyone else is doing, you ask yourself, what do my customers want? How can I offer a good product at a lower cost? That's the main point. Just think about it. Elon Musk built his success based On this model, the model is about opportunity cost. Every day, when we make a choice, it means we're giving up something else. Say you decide to go watch a movie tonight. That might mean missing a lecture for a course. This model reminds us that every decision has a hidden cost what you're not choosing. The model isn't just about limited rationality. We like to think we're super logical, but the truth is, our time, information, and attention are limited, so a lot of our decisions end up being incomplete. This model teaches us about our limitations. You've got to accept things and make smart decisions, instead of wasting time chasing perfection. Model 10. Think in reverse. If you want to succeed, don't think how can I succeed. Instead, ask yourself, what would cause me to fail? This way of thinking helps you avoid a lot of risks. For example, if you're taking an exam, think about what would lead to a low score like not studying or being late. Reverse thinking keeps you out of trouble. Model 11. Break free from mental stubbornness. We usually look for information that just supports what we already believe. That's dangerous because we might be wrong without realizing it. This model teaches you to gather information from all sides and question yourself. You can think about trust on a deeper level. Model 12 is the circle of competence. We're not experts in everything. This model says you should make decisions based on what you truly understand. For example, if you don't know much about finance, learn about it. Before investing, admitting what you don't know isn't a weakness. It's smart. Chapter 3 covers learning and problem solving from Model 13 to 18. Model 13 is fail fast, learn fast. We fear failure. But this model teaches you to make mistakes quickly, learn from them, and try again. Like if you're learning a new skill. It's normal to mess up at first, but you can't learn without making mistakes. Those who quickly learn from their mistakes are the ones who improve faster. Model 14. Feedback loop. Everything we do has a result, and that result affects our future work. This process is called the feedback loop. For example, if you study every morning and get good results, that habit gets stronger. Good actions bring good feedback. Bad actions bring bad feedback. You need to understand this cycle. Model 15. The 80/20 rule. This model says 80% of the results come from 20% of the work. Say you have 10 assignments, but really, 2 or 3 of them have the biggest impact on your grades. Drop it. Find 2 or 3 assignments, or 20% of the work that really matter, and focus on those to get big results in less time. Model 16 shows that speed is limited by the slowest part. If you're working in a team and everyone's doing well but one person is late, the whole project gets held up. This model says the weakest or slowest link sets the pace for the entire system. So, smart people find that bottleneck and work to improve it. Model 17 is about counterintuitive thinking. When everyone's rushing one way, this model teaches you to think in the opposite direction. For example, if everyone says something will work, no. Why don't you try it? New ideas come from thinking differently like this. Famous innovators follow this model. Model 18. The learning pyramid. Just reading, listening, or watching is the weakest way to learn. The strongest way to learn is by teaching others. According to this model, we only remember 10% of what we learn, but we remember 90% if we teach it to someone else. So, after learning, try to explain it to someone. Chapter 4. Understanding reality and limitations. Models 19 to 24. Model 19. Second order thinking. The first step is thinking, I am. So what if you do it? But this model tells you to think one step further. What happens next? Imagine if you study late into the night. You might fall asleep in class the next morning. So, decisions don't just have immediate effects, they can impact the future too. This teaches you how to think ahead and act wisely. It's called the 20 trade-off thinking model. You can't have everything in life at once. If you gain one thing, you might have to give up another. Like if you spend a lot of time studying, your social time might decrease. This model shows that there's always a balance behind everything in life. Everything comes with a cost. Sure, here's the translated text in natural, everyday English. You have to accept that. It's necessary to follow it. Model 21 is Einstein's razor. Keep everything as simple as possible, but don't oversimplify. This model teaches us that when you're trying to solve a problem, think about it simply without making it too complicated. But don't simplify it so much that you leave out something important. This balance is needed in education, business, and even in small decisions in life. Model 22 is the razor model. If there are multiple explanations for a result, go with the simplest one. Imagine you wake up in the morning and see your clock isn't working. Most likely the battery is dead. But then you start thinking. It's not like there's a ghost inside the clock. A lot of times, we make things unnecessarily complicated. This model helps us cut down on that. Model 23 is about understanding the limits of thinking. A map gives you an idea of a place, but it's not the real thing. Just like that, our beliefs, information, or models are only parts of reality. Reality is always complex. So, even if you judge things based on what you've learned, don't forget to get real-life experience too. Model 24 is about temporariness. We tend to give more importance to what we've recently seen or heard. If you get good marks for a week, you might think everything's fine. But before that, don't forget how the last 3 months went. This model teaches us to make decisions based on complete information and a long-term perspective. Chapter 5. Brain and Behavior. Models 25 to 30. Model 25. The average effect. Have you noticed that when you buy a new phone, you feel super happy at first, but after a while, it just feels normal? That's the average effect. Our brain quickly gets used to new things. So, to keep happiness lasting, it's not about outside stuff, it's more about paying attention to your own mental state. Model 26. Incentives matter. What people do is, there's always some motivation behind it, whether it's money, respect, or habit. If you want someone to do something well, you've got to give them the right incentive. Like with studying, just scolding doesn't help. Explaining things clearly or giving small rewards works much better. Model 27 is about mutual give and take. If someone helps you out, naturally you want to do something for them in return. That's just human nature. This model teaches that to build relationships, you need to learn to give first. Then you'll get back in return. Model 28 is loss aversion. We're much more focused on avoiding losses than on gaining profits. For example, if you get $10 ... no matter how happy you are, losing 10 taka hurts even more. This model influences our decisions, so understanding this psychology is crucial in advertising, business, or life in general. Model 29. Confirmation bias. We look for proof that supports what we already believe, and even when faced with opposing information, we tend to ignore it. For example, if you think you can get good results without studying, you'll look for examples that back up that idea. But this is dangerous because it keeps us stuck with wrong information. We need an open mind and logic. Model 30. self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe that I can't, then maybe you won't even try, and you'll fail. But if you think you can, you'll make an effort, and you might succeed. That belief is what shapes reality. So positive thinking isn't just motivation, it actually brings real results. So friends, these were 30 mental models that can change the way you think, make decisions, learn, and build relationships. Always remember, change your mindset and your life changes too. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Next Page Insights. See you in the next video. Thanks.